Blogging, a trend that has been developing since the hypertext markup language, or HTML, was first originated. It wasn't easy at first, but over time and through venues such as Open Diary and Live Journal, the ability to publish your thoughts, opinions, or even just keep in touch with friends became that much easier. As what we know as the World Wide Web was first developed, programmers created software that allowed thousands to publish these often journal-like editorials on their weblogs, or blogs as they've become known. The complexity of these sites has been minimalized so that even your great Aunt Agnes can create a blog of her own. From Technoready to Blogspot, Tumblr to Zanga, it is as simple as a click of a mouse to start your blogging career for free.
But why start a blog? It seems like the predecessors of blogging were purely an electronic journal or diary, which may be a result of those very words in the website names. However, as the art of blogging has matured, so has its purposes. Personal blogs can be tools of outreach from teachers to parents, friends to friends, or even peer-to-peers. Some blogs showcase work, such as an aspiring journalist's blog about politics, who may use their blog as a means to exemplify their writing ability or interest in a particular subject. And of course, opinion-based blogs act as sources of evaluation, reviewing an album, movie, or store. Corporate blogs act as a free means of public relations for potential clients and customers.
Companies and PR agencies jumped into the world of blogging, realizing what a powerful source it could be for word-of-mouth marketing. This was an extremely cheap way to get more exposure for the company. As a random example, Nike could find a popular blog about sports and sporting equipment and pay the blogger to write about Nike. The blogger, presumably up to this point, has been writing for free, so he or she would likely be glad to accept any amount of money, thinking of it as just a bonus for doing what he or she has already been doing.
However, once internet goers caught on to this practice, they began responding with outcries that it was unethical. Their main point was that while surfing the web, they went to these blogs expecting to read the honest opinions of an impartial blogger, not propaganda for some company. When you visit a corporate blog or read a paid advertisement, you look at it differently than if you read a random person's supposedly impartial view. Therefore, blog readers felt they were being duped into reading a company's advertisement masked under the identity of an individual person's blog. Companies did not require that the reviews be good, just that they be reviews, but the rationale of the public was that anyone getting paid to write about a company would be hard-pressed to write terrible things about that company, and if they did, the company would probably cease paying this person to write about them.
The focal point for this debate has been a website called payperpost.com. The site was created with the idea of bringing bloggers and advertisers together, essentially acting as a matchmaking service between the companies and blogs that met the interests of the company. The main page reads, "Get paid for blogging. You've been writing about websites, products, services, and companies you love for years, and you have yet to benefit from all the sales and traffic you've helped generate. That's about to change. With Pay Per Post, advertisers are willing to pay you for your opinion on various topics. Search through a list of opportunities, make a blog posting, get your content improved, and get paid. It's that simple."
Payperpost.com was launched merely with the idea of setting up bloggers and advertisers and did not think far into the ethical implications. Therefore, when they first launched, they did not require bloggers to disclose that they were being sponsored by a company. Those reading the blogs had no way of knowing that they were reading a blog whose writer was receiving money from the very companies he or she was writing about. These readers therefore felt as though they were being tricked by these blogs. If I were listening to somebody's opinion about a company that I knew they were getting paid hundreds of dollars to write about, I would certainly take it with a grain of salt.
So is this unethical? Well, let's consult the PRSA Code of Ethics. The first code provision, Free Flow of Information, lists the following guidelines. Preserve the integrity of the process of communication. Be honest and accurate in all communications. Preserve the free flow of unprejudiced information. Meanwhile, the Disclosure of Information guideline states that a company shall build the trust with the public by revealing all information needed for responsible decision-making, and lists these guidelines. Be honest and accurate in all communications. Reveal the sponsors for causes and interests represented. Avoid deceptive practices.
Failing to release the fact that a blogger is being sponsored by a company may not be outright lying, but it certainly is not being completely open and honest in the communication. Therefore, I believe that in the interest of meeting these guidelines in the Code of Ethics, full disclosure should be required. Even if disclosure is required, we still are not guaranteeing the free flow of unprejudiced information, and the integrity of communication is hurt if the most vocal people on an issue are being paid off by a certain company. Also, the Code of Ethics calls for enhancing the public relations profession. Even those who argue that this is an ethical practice in theory still would have to put the lid on this due to this provision because of the fact that there has been such a huge outcry over the issue. If the public feels like they are being deceived, they begin to label the public relations practitioners as deceiving, as spinsters who go behind the public's back to try to get the word out about their company. So, even if you personally did not find the practice deceiving, public perception does, and therefore it is hurting the profession of public relations, not enhancing it.
The Federal Trade Commission apparently agrees that this is unethical, because in December of 2006 it stated that companies engaging in word-of-mouth marketing, in which people are compensated to promote products to their peers, must disclose those relationships. After this, PayPerPost.com, realizing the fears of its consumers, added its own code of ethics with a requirement of full disclosure of any payments being made to bloggers. The other half of the code of ethics recommended that bloggers be honest with yourself and your readers. This code of ethics signified the site's commitment to building trust within the web community and providing a valuable, honest service to all.
However, some do not believe this is enough. One complaint is that the disclosure of service is looked over by readers or purposely made subtle and difficult to find, thus still resulting in readers being tricked. Others still say that it ruins the integrity of online blogging. Some sites pay bloggers based on how many hits its site gets from that blog. If that is the case, the blogger is probably only going to say good things about the product in order to get readers to click the link. Then, some believe that the issue means these blogs are coming to have zero credibility. A writer can claim to be impartial all he or she wants, but there are people out there who will never accept that as true if the writer is getting paid hundreds or even thousands of dollars from a company.
And why would a company continue to endorse a writer who is giving it horrible reviews? One website, sponsoredreviews.com, claims that a writer can earn up to $10,000 for a post. That's enough to pay rent and buy food. Is a writer really going to jeopardize that opportunity by writing a negative review, possibly ruining their opportunity for further endorsement? Some have called for the amount of payments to be disclosed as well. This way, for example, a reader could judge a $50 a month blog as more credible than a $500 a month blog. So basically, the world of paid blogging has made a lot of progress by beginning to incorporate a code of ethics requiring full disclosure.
However, I think we can both agree that there are still some ethical issues at hand here with regards to the PRSA Code of Ethics.
Yep, and these issues should be remedied in order to protect the public and prevent a negative reaction.
Or maybe the whole idea of paid blogging should just be done away with.
Maybe.